In this video, I'm going to discuss basic of HTML. Okay, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, so what does mean by hypertext? Right, let's understand the meaning of hypertext. And if I go to the browser and if I search for any website, let's say, let me search for, okay, zoom.com is not there, Zoom us is there, okay, dot us is there, zoom.com is not there, no problem. So here we can see some content, okay, some kind of animation, some images, some text, and the button. Here we can see, then these are the different buttons, and like this design, okay, the content, and it is in a designed format. Okay, so HTML is used to add this content to the web page. Means the product's solution or this Zoom is placed, I mean, is added to this page using HTML. Okay, then what is mean by hypertext? Okay, so hypertext means text behind the text. Means there is a hidden text, but where it is? It can be anywhere in the web page. So if I click on this, it will open some other page. If I click here, or if I click on sign in, okay, the page is routed to the another page. That means the behind the sign in there is one more text, and that text, I mean, this is what called hypertext, and that text may be a link of another page behind the text sign in, and this sign in is a form. Okay, so this form is also designed, everything whatever we can see on the browser, that is added by using only HTML. Okay, and HTML always used along with CSS. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. And what is the use of CSS? So this color can be added by CSS, this button color, and when I over the mouse on this button, it is changing the color. So this kind of properties, this kind of design is achieved by using CSS. But this button or the text inside the button, whatever we can see, is added by only HTML or is added through the HTML. So let me say HTML basics. So it will help us to understand what and why we are doing here. Okay, so HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, markup means it is just an indication to the browser that where what tag or what element is started and how that should be rendered. Okay, so we will discuss in detail about markup, and this is the language. Okay, and that is the only language used to add or used to design the web pages, used to add the content to the web pages. And HTML always used with CSS, that is we call cascading style, cascading style sheet. Okay, exactly similar. This kind of text can be added by HTML to the web pages. And how to start with HTML now? So to start with HTML, you can use any kind of text editor. Okay, and if you just open a notepad and if you save the file as okay, this will not find. Let me go to the, or let me save it to the desktop. And if I select all files and I will just name test.html. So whenever you wanted to create a web page, that file extension should be .html. Then and then only your browser will understand what is there in the file. Okay, and I will just save this file. And I will write some text. Okay, this is test. What I have did, I have just created a .html file here, and I will just open that file. And if I open the file in the browser, so here we can see a text, right? And here you can see that from the desktop test.html file is rendering. Okay, but this is a normal text, right? What we have added is a normal text. We need to add some different style of text, right? And to make that happen, HTML has something called tags. Okay, I will delete this file and I will start using any of the text editor. I will use Visual Studio here. And what I have to do, I have to open a folder. If I go to this folder, then web jump. Okay, I'm just opening a file, front end. And I just opened a folder. I will create a new .html file here. And let's say intro.html. Okay, I need to add extension here also, .html. And I have created a one HTML file. So now in this text editor, it looks like this. And this is a beauty of using any kind of text editor. Text editor can be anything, Visual Studio, it can be Sublime, it can be Notepad++, whatever you want, you can use, but extension should be .html. And HTML has different tags to define the type of text that to be added. Let's say I have to add headings. Let's say I have to add headings to the HTML page. So to add heading, HTML has given 6 tags. What and all those? So h1 is the first tag. Okay, h2 is another next tag. And similarly until h6, I mean, as I said, 6 tags are there. h4 is the fourth tag. h5 is fifth tag. And h6. So these all are tags. Okay, and if I said this is bigger, okay, bigger, h1 stands for bigger heading, and then size will become smaller until the last one. Okay, and this is smaller heading. Okay, what I will do now, I I will just go here, I will open this file, and I will see what it is showing. Okay, so it is showing that h1 is very, very big and h6 is very small. Okay, so here we can see the output, and this is how HTML tags are designed. And this is what the h1. Okay, I let me zoom. I cannot zoom this. Maybe I need to use other one. Okay, so it is fine. And this h1, right, this part, whatever I have selected, or I will mark this, or I will copy this to our this, and here I will say this is called opening tag. Okay, this is called opening tag, and there is one more tag to indicate that the tag, that whatever the tag we have opened is ending up here. So that is we call end tag. End tag. This is what we say as, okay, ending tag. So HTML has two types of tag, means h1 and h2 is a just example, but most of the tags are in this format, opening and closing format. Okay, and what h1 defines the some text property, how that text should be displayed on browser, right? Similarly, we have seen that h1 looks like this, h6 looks like this, and if we add some text, this is not a bigger one is h1 only, and you can see the output how it will change. Okay, and everything is heading, but size is going to change as per the tag. Okay, so we have seen that what is the opening tag, what is the ending tag. Now I wanted to tell you something about HTML element. So HTML element is everything from starting tag to end tag. Starting tag to end tag. Okay, and this is what we call element, HTML element. Okay, so I hope आपको, I mean, you got what I mean. This is what the HTML opening tag, this is what the ending tag, and the entire everything from opening tag to end tag with whatever the content it has is called HTML element. Okay, and what is the mean, what why we need? Okay, what I will do, I will remove everything and I will just write the text here, demo text. Okay, text, and what it will happen or what it will show, let's see. So it is showing that demo text is a smaller text and h1 is a bigger one. That's why we call HTML is a markup language, right? Whenever we mark the h1, or h1 is a kind of markup, it is saying that hey, looks here headings is started and here it is ended. Later on whatever you write, I don't care, it will be remains as it is, as per the default properties of browser. So this is how the markup is used. Means we can say this is a markup h1 and closing h1. Opening h1 and closing h1 tag is a markup to the browser, it or markup to the page, how that element should be, or how that content should be displayed on the browser. So now similarly, see, HTML has many tags, and it has two types of tags. Okay, what and all? First is opening, then some content, and it will closing the tag. Means ending, or we can say that opening and closing. And sometime we may have only opening tag, there will not be any closing tag. So these two categories are there. We will see one by one what and all the elements are there. Okay, one small example, if I would like to say, then if I want to add the break here, I mean, I wanted to add the line break here. So what I will do, I will just use the break tag here. Break tag is designed in such a way that it do not needs to close. It do not needs to close. But if you want to close, you can close like this. Both will be fine. If you do not close, it will be fine. If you do not, or if you close, if you do not close, it will be fine. If you do close, okay, again it will be fine. And what it will do, it will break the line. Okay, from where it is placed, from there. And if I render this, you can see this is a bigger, and the heading is started on new line because of this break. So break is one tag that do not required to close, and for that break tag there will not be any closing tag. So these two types of tags are there in HTML. Okay, let me run this, and it is working fine. Okay, so far what we have seen only heading tags and how break tags work, and what is mean by HTML element, and what is the opening tag, or what is the purpose of opening tag. But make sure, always remember one point about this: whenever we open a tag, we need to close that tag. We need to close the tag. Okay, so what I will do, instead of this, I will just say I wanted to add one more little smaller text here, H6, and this is a smaller text. Okay, and if I have properly closed the tags, so there will not be any issue. And if I try to run this, okay, it is showing. But what will happen if I forgot to close this tag? What will happen if I forgot to close this tag? Okay, nothing happened, right? Good. And what will happen if I close, if I add some text here and just test. So normally test, it is inheriting some property. Okay, oh, I zoomed out it, and it is coming normal. It will very badly affect if I forgot this. Okay, I will show when I will design the web page, complete web page. Now we are going to see the what and all elements. So if I show, it will gone. or it will not a good practice to show that effect now. Okay, so we have seen so far only head element. There is one more element. Okay, let me bring back all 6 elements here. Okay. Bigger. Instead of bigger, now I can remove this. This is heading. Everything is heading here, right? So it is fine now. So now I wanted to add a paragraph here. So for paragraph, there is a P tag. Okay, and I can write as much text as I want in this tag. And if I go here, if I click here, and let me, okay, I should be able to copy something. Okay, so what I will do, I will just paste here. So you can see I have added some longer text to the P. I will render this, and P tag is very similar to the normal text as we can use here, or we can paste here without P. And it looks very similar. Then why we need a P tag? Okay, so tags, as we have seen that this is a markup and it is indicated and it is required to style. Whenever we will add style using CSS, then we need HTML elements. We cannot add style to this text, whatever the text we have directly pasted out in HTML file. We need a HTML element to style. Okay, if I wanted to give the width, I won't be able to add here if I do not use the HTML elements. Okay, so this is how it works, and HTML tags are very important. Without HTML tag, we should not add any of the content to the web pages. Okay, to add some text formatting, HTML has provided us what we can say text formatting tags. Okay, so if I say text formatting, so this is what we are going to see. What and all those tags are there? If I want to bold this text, see, headings are already in a bold format. Okay, and let me say that this is bold, but as of now this is not bold. I wanted to make this text as a bold. Okay, so what I can do, I have to add a bold tag. For bold, there is a B tag we need to use, and it will add some properties to the text. Okay, let me close this, not required, and run. And here I can show you that the text is now bolded, right? So this is what we can use to style the text. Then next, similarly, we can add, if I want to make the text italic, if I want to make the text italic, okay, so I can use I tag here. I can use I tag here. And what it will do, it will change the style of text. It will little bit, it will tilt the text. Okay, so this is how many other tags are there. One more tag is there. If I want to make this as a stronger, I will use strong tag. And is there. Whatever the text I will add between strong tag, that will be again bolder. So here you can see is not bolder. If I run this now, it looks bolder. Okay, it looks bold. So this is how B tag is there, bold tag is there, strong tag is there, italic is there, then emphasized text if you want to make. So to bold, I will add emphasized. For emphasize, em tag is there, and I will copy just this to this. So whatever the text we will add, that only text will be transformed or changed, we can say. So now this bold is in italic format, little bit it is tilted, and emphasize is very similar to the italic. Now if I wanted to highlight the text, I can use mark tag. Okay, so mark tag is used to highlight some text, and if I say mark, okay, and this heading I will put inside the mark, it will add some color. Okay, what color it will add? Okay, it is adding yellow color to this heading by using mark tag. I wanted to add, or I wanted to make the text smaller than its regular size. Okay, so if I wanted to reduce the size of text, I wanted to reduce the size of this heading, I can use small tag. So these are the text formatting tags given by HTML, and this heading will be smaller than its normal size. This heading will be smaller. Okay, here we can see, so this is bigger than heading, this is bigger than heading, so this is a smaller. This is what the effect of small text. Then if I wanted to show that anything is deleted or anything is removed, I can use del tag here. So to highlight the text as a deleted, okay, to show the text as a deleted or not in use, we can use del tag. Or if you want to draw the overline on the text, and this will result like this. Okay, so this kind of functionality is given by HTML. There is one more tag called inserted. If you want to show the text is as inserted means it will just show the what I can say, ins tag is there, ins, and it will just show the underline for this text, and underline is here. So this is how text formatting. There's one more text. If I want, I will say that if I wanted to add a text to the top of another text, so if I wanted to add some text to the top of heading, this heading from h5, okay, so I will use super tag. Okay, and this will add text to the top of this. And how it will add, let's see. HTML, I will add HTML, Okay, and it looks like this. Similarly, we can add text to the subscript. I mean, at the bottom also by using subscript tag. Okay, superscript and subscript, as we can see, and subscript is added to this heading. This is superscript, this is subscript. Okay, so this is how text formatting works in HTML. If I wanted to style the text, okay, so heading is done, paragraph I have shown, then text formatting I have shown, break tag is something what we have discussed, and I don't want this text anymore now. Okay, I don't want to show these headings. What I will do, I will comment out this instead of deleting text. If whenever you design a web page and if you don't need any of the block, any of the element, don't delete that. That is not a good practice. Instead of deleting, we can what we can do, we can comment out that. Okay, how to comment out? Just use this syntax, and to end the comment, use this one. So this will start the comment and this will end the comment, and whatever the content in between these two signs, okay, or this is the syntax of HTML comment, and that element will be no more displayed, right? That element will be, or that content will be ignored by a browser. And why we need a comment? Okay, so using comment we can add the information about that page for the developer purpose, or to remember something about this page, why this design has made, or what and all used in this design. So if you want to make a note, you can make a note inside your HTML code using comment. Okay, so I will comment out this everything, and this is about the adding content to this. Now next, what if I wanted to add a image to the page, right? So I can use, for that HTML has given an image tag. So image is the tag that we do not need to close. As I said, HTML has few elements that we do not need to close. Okay, and I have just wrote here as image tag. Okay, what I will do, I will just refresh this page. Okay, nothing is there. Means what? Where is my image? I need to mention image, right? I need to mention the image to this image tag. I need to provide the information about image, but where? So what I will do, I will just hit the space and I will use the source. Yes, RC is a shortcut for source, and inside this double quotation I have to tell the name of image. I don't have image now. I don't have image in my folder now, right? So what I will do, I will paste some image here. So what I will do, I will go somewhere and I will just copy these images and I will go back and I will paste images here. Okay, so now what I have did, I have just added 3 images here. You can see the nature images are there and these images are there. I wanted to load these images in my HTML page. So what I will do, I will go here, I will say img dot img1. okay, I will say img1.jpg. whatever would be the extension of that image, that should be given like this. And now I will refresh the page, and here you can see the image is being added to HTML page. Okay, the image is added now. now what I wanted to do, I wanted to discuss something about this SRC. What is this SRC? What we call in technical language? Okay, so HTML has something called attribute. Attribute. Okay, what is mean by attribute? Attribute is used to provide some additional information. Okay, additional information, but about what? About the content, right? About the content. Here we can say that attribute is providing the information to the image tag from where image should be picked, or what is the name of what image should be picked. So it is providing information to this image tag and information about the content of that element. Okay, so I hope you got a clear picture about what is the attribute. It is just used to provide additional information. That's it. To the element. Okay, we can say to the element. Now the image is very, very big, right? And I wanted to reduce that size. Okay, what I can do, I will use something called next attribute, height attribute. I will say 400 pixel. Okay, this pixel and all will be discussed with the CSS. So tentatively I will just say we can give height or just randomly anything we are picking, and height, and one more attribute is there as a width. Okay, so again, this is, as I said, this is attribute, and this provides the information to the element that image should be of 400 pixel height and width should be of 600 pixel height, not height, 600 pixel. Okay, what it will do? Oh, so we can see the size of image is changed, means we can have a control over the image, right? So this is how image can be added to the HTML page. Seems to be good. Okay, then HTML has something called iframe. Okay, what is mean by iframe? Iframe is a tag. Again, what is this? Iframe. Okay, I will say iframe. Iframe is a tag. And what it will do? Nothing. It will not do anything, but I need to add some information to the iframe. Okay, what I need to do then? Again, if I wanted to add the information, I need to use the attribute called source. Okay, and what I need to mention here, I need to give, see, iframe is something that is used to add the another HTML page in the small window to my current page. Means what I wanted to do, I wanted to add one page here. See, here you can see the border and all everything, but I wanted to add small page here. So I have written here, I have started source attribute, but source is not defined. Okay, so what I will do, if you can use your own pages designed somewhere, and okay, this is fine. And if I go here, what I will do, I will bring some pages and okay, HTML front end, new pane. Okay, here you can see in this folder I have the page called index. Okay, so what I will do, I will just go to the folder path, I will mark this as a slash, and I will say index.html. I will copy this path and I will give this path as a source here. It's fine. Source is declared. Now let me refresh this page. Oh, this is something amazing about the what we can say amazing about the HTML elements that has a magic. And what it is showing me the page that I have designed in another folder, or another page is loading inside my. Now I wanted to add some height to this page. Okay, what I will do, I will say height I will say 300 pixel, it is fine. And width I will say 600 pixel. Okay, maybe it will be fit, there will not be any problem. And I will try to read this. Now the page is looks good. And here if I scroll entire the page, whatever the page I have designed, entire page will be loaded in this iframe, and I can show my another page to my current page, or like this. Using iframe we can show any page of your website or another website into your current page. Yes, so this is what the use of iframe. So next, iframe is done. Now we will see. So we have seen that, okay, iframe is done. I will comment out this. And we have seen that the image which we used in, is the, or is it is coming from the same folder. Okay, it is coming from the same folder. So what I mean, so in HTML file is in the front end folder, and these images are also there in the front end folder. That's why we can use directly this one, directly name of image. Okay, so I am trying to accessing here. You can see image 1. What will happen if that image 1 is my into the another folder, one folder up, one folder up, or one folder back to its actual location? Then how we can access that element? So if I wanted to move back, okay, if I wanted to move back, or I wanted to go back to the previous folder of my current directory, what I need to use? I need to use double dot and this one. What is this? Forward slash. So if I use the syntax like this, it will go and search for the file from the previous folder, not from the current folder. So it is not looking here. Now it is looking in this folder. Okay, C#, .NET, Java, JavaScript, Python, and image 1 is there, right? So if I search here, you can see C# .NET front end, image 1 is there. I will select image from the previous folder. Okay, it is fine. It is in the directory. Okay, sounds good, right? And now the image will be loaded here as it is. There will not be any issue. Okay, what will happen if I do not use this syntax? If I try to access, it will not give any error, but it will occupy the space, whatever the properties, attributes we have given, that something height and something as a width, it will occupy the space, but content is not available, right? Image is not available. So image is not there in the folder. So I need to use, if I wanted to move back to the folder, I will use double dot. Okay, now try to understand. If I copy this image and I will just go one step, one folder again. So now we are in a 2 folder back. Our image is in a 2 folder back. So now if I remove this, if I say double dot slash, So here you cannot see the image. Again, I wanted to move back to the previous folder. I will say double dot and forward slash, and here you can find the image one. So this is how a file path is given in HTML. This is how the file path is given in HTML. Okay, now image is not there, but if I render now, it is there. So that is done. And now what I will, okay, is it coming, not coming from something else in this video? Okay, so now with respect to previous folder, we have seen how to move or how to give the path. Now what I will do, I will create one more folder here as images. Okay, and I will paste this image. Now if I try to run, it says there is no image available. Okay, so I wanted to pick the image from images folder that is there in the current folder, right? So what I will do, I will use this syntax, and it says that okay, I will use now if I wanted to move forward, or if I wanted to go in the subdirectory of current directory or current folder, then I will use single dot. If I wanted to move back to the previous folder, I will use double dot. Okay, that is the only difference. And if I say images and image one is there, so this is how the HTML path works in HTML, not somewhere else. Okay, like this, if images inside images there, if there is a one more folder, we will use that folder also. And similarly, I mean, using this syntax, we can go to the any folder of your folder structure. Okay, so this is how image or image path in the HTML works. Double dot used for the previous folder, single dot used for the next folder, I mean to the subdirectory. Okay, now I wanted to add list, or I wanted to create a list in the HTML. Okay, how to create a list? To create a list, what kind of list is there? List can be anything. Okay, if I wanted to list what book names or programming language names, that is fine, right? But I wanted to create a list. I cannot use, or I should not use the heading tag or p tag, and then okay, someone can think like this. Okay, I will use Java, and I will write like this, one dot Java. It looks like list, but that is not a proper way to create a list. Okay, people can think like this. And if I go here and if I render this, okay, it looks like list, but I don't want this number to be given by the developer. This should be automatic. And for that purpose, HTML has given two types of list. Okay, what are not two types of list? First list is ordered list. Second is unordered list. Okay, what is difference between ordered list and unordered list? We will see that by writing the code. Okay, I will say OL. OL stands for ordered list. UL stands for unordered list. Okay, and I will say LI. I will add. See, this is list. So to add the element or to add the content to the OL and UL, there is one more tag we need to use, that is called LI. LI stands for list, and it is used with both UL and LI. Sorry, both OL and UL. So if I say Java, okay, great. I will add few more programming language. Okay, then HTML is one of the language. Okay, no problem. CSS is that something we are going to see very soon. JavaScript is also discussed. And okay, this is not the page. I wanted to go here, and if I render this, Here you can see I have not added this 1 dot 2 dot 3 dot 4 dot. It is coming automatically from the browser. But this is how. So this OL defines, or OL says to the browser, hey, this is the list and this list is order list, so it should have numbering. Okay, great. Then numbers are added. Similarly, if I want the list but without number, what I will do, I will change OL to UL, and here it is UL. Okay, what is the difference? You can see by your eyes, and UL will not use numbers. It will use some marks, or it will we can say technically this as a list style, as a disk. Okay, but what if I wanted to change? What if I wanted to change the style? Okay, there are multiple styles already provided by the HTML, but how to change? And if I try to type, oh, there is no attribute provided for the UL and OL. But if you want to change the style, then again we need to use the attribute, and that attribute is called style attribute. Okay, so inside a style attribute, there are many more properties. Lots of properties are there that is coming from the CSS. Okay, and that we can use. We can give the color, we can give the height, width, and margin, padding. Everything will be discussed in detail. Okay, in the CSS video. Now we will see. Just I will say list style type none. Okay, what will happen if I say list style type none? Okay, style is gone. List style is gone. Okay, if I use the style attribute, and inside this style, if I mention list style type none, okay, again style is gone. Okay, it is fine. So what are all different types? Disk is there. I wanted to use the disk here for the ordered list. Okay, I can use. And there is something called a square. I can use square also to the UL. Okay, so these are, and we can change the color also. If I say color, and let me pick the color as a brown color. Okay, let's see. I don't know what will happen, and it has changed the color of my entire list with style. Oh, great. And so this is how a list or style attribute. Style can be used with heading, paragraph, whatever the content we have seen. I mean, whatever the elements so far we have seen, everywhere we can use the style attribute to style the element. The purpose of style attribute is used to add the style to the HTML elements. Okay. Now, we have seen how to add a style. Okay, this is what the syntax. Always you need to mention style is equal to inside a double quotation, then whatever will be the property name. So very simple property name, we will pick the color and its value. Okay, so this is the way we can design HTML list. Oh my god. Now something is coming in my mind. Okay, what is that? So I wanted to add other list to this Java. Okay, what is Java? Java is again backend programming language, and I mean I have to add a sub list. It is fine. I can add a sub list, or that is what we call as a nested list. Okay, what is mean by nested list? Nested means list inside list, or nested element can be there. So here you can see OL is one element, and inside of that LI is one more element, right? So this is the nested element. Similarly, list inside a list we can use, and if I say OL, it is fine. And I can add new list here and inside a Java. Okay, Java has JVM. Oh no, not that. It should be CLI, and Java has JVM. Okay, and again CLI. Okay, Java has compiler. Then okay, what is Java? Java has a runtime environment, so JRE we can say. Oh, now let's see the output. What it will show? It is showing that list inside a list. Automatically, it has taken some space, and these elements are added inside a Java. That we do not need to do anything. We do not need to do any manipulation, any adjustment, or we have to just simply write the content, and browser will automatically add other properties as we want. So this is what we can say, that sublist of Java. Sublist can be created by using nested list. Nested list means list inside a list. So here you can see how this looks like. Okay, the style can be changed even for UL also. We can say that number. So number is something that is coming automatically. If I want, okay, what and all, circle is there, decimal is there, disk is there. If I say circle, it will be a whole like this. Okay, and many more styles are there. Okay, none is there. If I want to add the numbers, okay, lower alpha, lower geek. What does this mean? Okay, alpha, gamma, beta, it is coming. And if I wanted to add the Roman style, lower Roman, upper Roman, I will use the upper Roman, and Roman style is there to the list. So these all are provided by the HTML. We have to use this only. We do not need to define our own element and all. We in HTML we have to use whatever they have already provided. So HTML list is done. Nested list I have shown. Now we will go for HTML table. Okay. I will draw a table before this. Okay, because table is something that is very beautiful. And table is, it may looks like this. Okay, and this is the part of table, our table. Okay, just imagine this is the part of our table. Okay, table can be, I mean, it should like this. Okay, it should not like this. Table should have rows and columns. Okay, so what I will do, I will add some rows here. Okay, sorry. And table should looks like this. It should have rows. Horizontal are rows, we can say, and vertical is a column. Okay, right. So this is a row. I will mark in blue. Okay, and this is a column. Okay, this is not only, this is all about all. I will mark in this color. So this is column, this is row, right? And what I will do, I will say column, not column, this is row. My bad. And I will say here row. Okay, mistake. It is fine. Okay, column. It should be a column. What color I have chosen? Okay, I have chosen this one. So this is how table is designed, and we have to design the same one. Okay, then how to design? Okay, then how to design this? Okay, let delete this now. Okay, and we just got an idea that horizontal whatever would be there, we say that is a row, and whatever would be there in vertical format, that is a column. Okay, to start with table, HTML has given tag, right? Without tag we cannot define anything in the HTML, right? Okay, got it. So table is started, it is fine, table is started, but now we have to add rows and columns. We have to add rows and column. See, if we add rows, we will add a first row. First row should be a heading, right? So this should be a heading of table. So to add heading to the table, HTML has given table heading tag, that is called th tag. Th tag. Okay, fine. So now we have added first row. This is also row. Th is a kind of row. Okay, here as I have shown, this is for the heading. First row we will use as a heading, and whatever we will add inside, what we are going to add then? Okay, we are going to add the data, right? Now I wanted to add some data to this. I will say name here. Okay, name to the first heading is my name. Okay, similarly I will do what I will do. I will go here, I will say, hey, I wanted to add a table data. There is tag name called td. Td stands for table data, and I will say, okay, name here. It is fine, name is there, name should be there, right? We are designing the table, it is just fine. Now next is next, oh, next we can add age. Yes, now we don't have a lot, I mean we will not pick those many. Now I wanted to add the second column, but how to add the second column in a table, HTML table? We don't have something called table column, right? But whatever the content we add as a table data to this table row, whatever the content we will add this as a table data to this heading, to this heading, it will be automatically picked as a column. Okay, it will be automatically picked as a column. So name, so automatically this column. So what then we have to add next row. Okay, we will consider these two columns only. Okay, I will say age. Now I wanted to add the data here, and I will add name here. Okay, name is Brahma, and Brahma. Okay, and name is added. It is fine. And now I have to add age here. Okay, it is fine, age is also added. Where it is going up. Okay, so now age is added, right? Like this I should add. So what I need to do, this is my second row, right? This is my second row. So what I will do, I will add one more row. And to add rows, okay, to add rows, there is something called tr tag. Tr tag will add rows to the table. Th tag will add heading to the table. Th tag will add heading to the table. Okay, and now I wanted to add the data. Okay, I will add a data. Name is something called Brahma, and td. Okay, again, and age is something called 29. Okay, so now my table should looks like this, right? So this is a small table, 4-element table only. And if I go here and if I run this, oh, name and age is added, Brahma and 29 is added, table row is added. Then what happens to this? Why this is going here and there? Okay, what I will do, I wanted to see how this is working, or let me comment out this because we are not using this, and run this now. Mhm. Oh, something is gone wrong. Data is added to the, remember this, data is added to the row. But th is referred for the tr. We should add first tr. So since as I told, this is a table row again, even though that is heading, but there is a difference between th and td. So whenever I wanted to add the normal data to the table, I will add this table td. And whenever I wanted to add heading, okay, I thought, oh, my bad. I am not sure. It's been long time not used table in HTML. Okay, so this is how. So what I need to do, everything is as a table row. And if you want to add the heading, okay, nothing but we can use the td here also, that is fine. Or I will show you td. Okay, don't use anything, just use the td here, and again td here. Okay, that's why it was looking not good. Okay, now it is in format, because since I used th, it was picking this as a one data. But actually I should have this as a tr. Everything, I mean, it should start with the tr, and then there is a difference between the normal data and table heading data. Okay, so I directly started with the heading, even though this is headings are under the row, one of the row, first row, but that's why. And okay, let me say heading. Okay, seems to be now. Okay, so now table looks like a table, but is not looking like table. If we look at this, it looks like that there is a name, and then space is added, and then age is, and there is no border to the table, right? But we have seen that there is a border. So what I will do, I will go to this table and I will say border. I will add the attribute border is equal to 1. Why this is showing in a red? Okay, red, because that is duplicated, not required to use that. And now border is added to my table. Now it looks like table. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so now it is looking like a table, right? Yes, it is looking like a table. Then it is not looking like this table. I mean, the lines are double. Why there is lines? Why there is a lines? Okay, so there is a space between these two elements. There is a space between these two elements. But before removing this space, I wanted to add some space to these borders. Means the from the Brahma, there is no space or very less space between Brahma and border. I wanted to make that cell. Okay, this is what we call as a cell. This is one cell, and I wanted to add some space between content and border. Okay, what we can do then? Okay, I will say cell. Okay, cell. Okay, there is nothing. It should have cell padding or cell spacing. Cell padding should be there. Cell. Okay, cell padding is equal to 0. Not 0, I will say 10, because I have to increase the space. What will happen? Now the space around the element, space around the content is increased. Okay, now I wanted to remove these two borders. So by default, there is some space that we call as a cell spacing. Okay, and if I say cell spacing as a 0, it will turns into single border. Okay, internal border is single. Okay, there is a space around this, but a very, very, very small space. So if I go to 100%, it will not look. Okay, now if I wanted to remove the border, I can remove. Okay, I will say 0 and border will go on. If I don't want spacing or a cell to be a bigger one and I want only borders, I will say 1 and remove. Okay, so this is how a space between two cells is managed in HTML. Padding or the cell size is managed using cells padding. If I say 5, it will look better, and yes, it will look better now. So this is how table works. This is how table works in HTML. If I wanted to add more content, what I can do, I will go and okay. I don't want to add rows to this table. I don't want to add more rows to the table. I wanted to add the column to this table. Okay, here I wanted to add new column. So what I need to do, I need to go here and I will have to add TD here. Okay, but instead of TD, I wish this name and age should looks in bold style, so that it looks like a heading. So for that purpose, we can use TH. Okay, so TH and TD is very similar. Both are used to add the data to the table, but table and table is added. Okay, new heading is added. What should it be? Okay, let's treat me as a roll number, like a student. Roll number, and I don't know roll number. So what I will do, I will add one more TD here. TTD. TD and roll number is 101. Let's say 101. And now what will happen? Let's see. And one column is added. We got it. We got it. How to add a column? So if you want to add a column, what do you need to do? You need to add TD or TH. TD or TH. TD or TH in a rows. Means TD defines number of columns, TR indicates number of rows. Right? So this is how table is designed in HTML. Now I wanted to add a few more rows to this table. Okay, what I will do, I will just copy this and I will just paste this. It will goes and add those many rows to this table. Okay, and the content I can change. Content I can change. I will say Aditya. Aditya is of just 8 years old, and I will give him a second number. Then I will say Shuraj. Okay, he is just 6 years old. I will say third roll number. And we have someone called Lambia. Lambia is of, I think he is of 15 years old, and his roll number is 104. So this is how content can be managed and your table can be designed in HTML. So we have seen how to design a list, how to design a nested list, how to design a table in the HTML. So for table, if you want to add the content, okay, like this. I mean, add the rows, you have to use the tr, and inside the table tr, first row should be for the th, so that it will define the table headings in a bolder look. If you want to define without bold, you can use td here, no matter. Okay, and data can be added as a td. So number of th or number of td defines number of columns. So as we have seen, if you want to add a column to this table, after roll number, we need to add one more th here. Oh, okay, it is fine. Then what I will do, I will just go for once again Chrome. Now what and all something, okay, I will go and I will go here and I will say zoom. Okay, and I will click on sign in. And here we can see the form that now we have to learn how to design a form in HTML. Okay, I will keep this as HTML. Sorry, I will keep this as a comment. And what I will do, I will add form here. So to design a form, okay, to design a form, HTML given us tag. Okay, what is the name of tag? I also, we know if you want to use the list, there is OL, UL. For the table, there is something called table, and for the form, there is something called form. Okay, so we have started form. No, is it affecting any layout of page? No, it is not showing anything. Okay, then what I need to do to add something called this, I need something that takes input from me, that from user, whoever will open that page. Okay, that is defined, or it is very simple, that is defined as a input. Okay, let's say input. What it will do? It is doing, oh, it has added input bar automatically. Right. Again, this is like magic. We don't need to do anything to add this. We have just say that input, but what type of input you want to define, you can define using type attribute. And if you say text, it is fine. Text is taken by this. Okay, I can add text. I can add, okay, anything. If you want, you can type here. Okay. So now what I have did, I have added input. But now I wanted to give name to this input. Means I wanted to tell to the user that what should be entered in this. Okay, let's say I wanted to input first name. So that should be given by using label. That is we call as a label. Okay, label is opening and closing tag, but input is just opening tag. There is no closing tag. If you want to close the input, you can close like this. That will work. But if it is not necessary, HTML will automatically handle those things, because this is how it designed. And if I say first name, please enter your first name. Okay, it should enter first name. Okay, so this is a message to the user or the whoever is going to submit the form, that your first name should be entered here, right? Like we fill exam forms. Now I wanted to add some more. Okay, I will add those many. I will say last name. Okay, there is no use of last name. Then I have to enter age. Okay, what I will do, I will say, okay, age is in number So there is a number type input and it will add number type. And if you try to enter the text inside this number, it will not accept any type. Okay, E is accepting because that has something, that is a constant, and I might be that has some value, constant value, that's why it is taking, or exponential value we can say. Okay, but if I enter the number, if I say 29, it is fine, it is accepting. But if I try to type A B C D, it will not take. Number type input will not accept text. Okay, text can accept any type of data. Now I wanted to select date of birth. Oh, DOB I wanted to enter. Oh, DOB is there, but how to bring the calendar here? So you don't need to define anything. You just have to say input type date. The moment you select date, HTML browser will automatically show you the calendar here. Okay, you have, what you have to do, you have to go and you have to select, okay, whatever would be your date of birth. Okay. This type of functionality is provided by the HTML already. And okay, at the end I wanted to add, okay, if I want to attach a file, so I will say attach. I'm just using attach as a name, okay, but it can be anything. And here text input I can say file, and it will give you an option to select a file. It will say choose file. Okay, how beautiful it is. Got it. And like this, many more input types are there. We can use color or checkbox. Okay. I wanted to show you if I want to Control Z. Okay, if I want to use Control C, or I will copy this only. And if I say male here, have to select gender option. Okay, and from the gender, if I wanted to add something called male or female, or I have to select, I have to give the option to select. Okay, what I will do, I will say checkbox. Checkbox is there. Okay, there is a checkbox. Okay, so this functionality is already provided. If I want a radio button, I can use, if I say female and radio. So type radio, when I give, it will give us that kind of button, that circular button, not a checkbox. It is just a radio button. Okay, so this type of, then if you want to use input type as a month, you can use, instead of date, I will say month. Okay, and how it change? Okay, you have to select the month. Great to see this, right? And this is how it works. Then date is there, month is there. If you want to give the range to select, okay, we can give the range, but what kind of range? If I wanted to select the 1 to 100 number, I can give the range. Or if I say age is something that, okay, if I say lucky number, just for the check, okay, then type I should give as a range. Okay, not a radio or range or range. And what it will do, it will add a range. Okay, like this automatically. And if I wanted to add minimum 0 and maximum 10, it will be fine. I think we can define like this, and it says 0 to 10. We can define, or we can increase to 100. It is fine. Okay, it will switch internally, it will break out and decide the steps. Okay, so min max we can declare here. So now we have a form. Now I wanted to submit the form. Okay, no problem. What I will do, I will just say, okay, when I wanted to submit, I need a button, and for the button I don't need a label. I need to use the type only. Okay, what is the type then? To submit the form, there is something called submit, and it will automatically show the submit button. If you want to change the value of the submit, you can say the value. It means the button name, what we have or we can see is, if you want to change, and if I say click me, it will change the text on that button using value attribute. Using value like this, many attributes are there as and when required. If you want to enter the password, there is something called password, input type password, and what it will do, it will not show anything to the user whenever you enter. And if I say password, it will say, okay, type password we will use, and password. Okay, it is going to add something, and here password will be added, and if I type anything, it will be like a disk only, but it will not show, right? So HTML has provided us lots of things. Okay, fine. Now I wanted to, we can even use time also as a input, and as and when required, or week also we can use. It is fine. Now I wanted to create a drop down. I don't want user to be enter the value. User should select the value. User should select the value. What I will do, I will keep this as it is. I will mark this comment out, and I will paste here, and I will remove everything now. So far we have seen that password input type is, again I don't want. I will keep submit button. Okay, so that form should look good, and I have to given the option to select. Okay, and to give the options, we don't need to use input tag, we need to use select tag. Okay, not section, it should be select. And inside a selection, we have to provide options by using option tag. Okay, value is something that we can consider, but not not required. If I say 1, or if I say John, okay, I am just giving an option to select the month. Okay, and I will say month here. Okay, and if I say Feb, if I say March, and if I say April, okay, I will go and I will refresh. Okay, what is there? Okay, it is giving me a drop down. Automatically it is giving me a drop down to select one of the option, right? And it is very good to see this, right? What we can do using HTML, or how to add the content to the HTML page using select option. Okay, option group is there, or we can group, but that is fine. At least for the basic purpose, this is sufficient. In advanced design, or whenever we will see the entire page design, this kind of advanced options will be used. Now we have already seen that style. Style attribute we have discussed already, right? And if I wanted to add a style to this, I will say style, and then I can add border. And border is something called, I wanted to define the thickness of border. If I say 2 pixel, then I will say solid. Border style is that we will discuss in detail what is the border style, what is the border width, and color will be green, and it will add style to my form. Okay. So this is how forms are designed. This is how forms are designed in HTML. Okay. So this is almost all about how to add content to the browser. Now, but this is not a style of writing HTML code. HTML has proper sequence. It has defined a structure how to write a code. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to define the HTML tag. Okay, you have to say HTML. Okay, inside a HTML there are two parts. First one is a head tag. Okay, inside a head tag, information about the page can be added. Okay, only meta information, whatever the content will not be displayed on the browser, that should be added to the head tag. Or if you want to add some additional information, if you want to access some uh, files from outside, I mean other files into these files, to add some style or JavaScript files or CSS files can be added inside a head element. And to add the content, Java, sorry, not a Java browser, I mean, what we can say, HTML has body tag, and inside a body tag, whatever the content to be displayed on the browser, everything should be added inside a body tag. Okay, now this is the structure. Structure is fine. Okay, it is very simple. Right? It is very simple. Then what I wanted to do, I want to design a form or design a table. Okay, what I will do, I can use, or let's say I can use form here, or I can use h1 here. Okay, h1, I will say h1, and I will say sign, oh my god, sign in or sign up, any kind of form we can say. Okay, let's design sign up, and below this sign up there is something called form. Okay, we will add sign up. Action is something attribute that refers when we will go with backends. We will connect this HTML with the backend, then action will comes in a picture. Not now, need not to worry about action. So I have to design a form. Okay, what I have did, I have just written here sign up. I wanted to add some form here, this kind of form. Okay, this is sign in form, but we will add sign up for free. Means what it is asking, okay, verify your age and all. It is difficult because backend is added to this. Let's forget this, and we will add our own form. So if I say label, I wanted to add label. Oh my god, label can be added. If I say first name, okay, it is fine, first name can be added using this. Then next, I will say label, then first name, last name. Okay, then Email address we need, yes, email address we need. And what all other details are there? Okay, contact details we need, I mean mobile number or something that we need, or address we don't need. Email is taken. Okay, that information is sufficient. Okay, now I have to take the input because I have added only the labels to this page. Then I wanted to take the input from this, so I will say input. Okay, and inside input I have to define what type of input it is there. So it is going to add some text. Okay, that is fine, but for what it is going to refer, for what? So label has an attribute called for. So you have to define for it is f name, for it is first name. Okay, just for now to understand what is attribute, what and all attribute for these elements, we will understand the use when we will start with CSS. Okay, so we can use this attribute reference to style this particular element. How to use, we will see when I will pitch into the CSS. Okay, and input should have name attribute, so I can add name as a f name. Okay, so here we can say for l name, and we can add input type text, name should be l name. Similarly, I can change email, so there is a input type email also, email. Okay, we can take, and this should be a email. And contact for the contact we can, oh fine, we can say number, right? Because we want only numbers to be in contact number, or if I say contact number specific, and I will give a name to this as a contact. Okay, and now my form looks like this. Okay, it is fine. So what, at the end we will have to add button, and we know how to add a button. Okay, so we can say input type submit, and now button is added. But this form doesn't looks good. This form doesn't looks good because form element is taking 100% width. Okay, what I will do, I will go here and I will say style. I will say style and I will say border. Okay, border, just to understand. Okay, we will understand border in detail, how these properties are given in CSS. Okay, 2 pixels solid, and if I say green, okay, that is fine. The border given to this is taking 100% width, not because of these many elements. Okay, if I remove this all the element and if I keep only first elements, even though it do not require that much space, still it is taking 100% width, right? That what this means, I'm talking about the form element. So this type of element, the element which take 100% width, is called block level element. Is called block level element. Okay, not this, is called block level element. Just remember this, whatever I taught here. Block level element, block level element takes 100% width, takes 100% width by default. It's browser default. Okay, block level element takes 100% width. Now this, inside this block level, okay, we have something called a label. Label is not taking 100% width, right? Label is taking the width as much as it required. Then input is also taking some defined width, browser defined width. It is not taking 100% width. What will happen if this label is declared as a block. Okay, so now any element that is not taking 100% width by default, that element is called as inline element. Inline, not a label, okay, inline element. And inline element text, okay, let me define this inline element text required width only. Okay, so now in css this is called display property. Okay, display block and display inline is there. So what I will do, I will change this inline. We can change block to inline, inline to block, we can change. What we can do, I will change this label to 100% width. Means what I will do, I will say, okay, I will say display, not a display, I will say style. I will add style and style display as a, oh, why this is block? Okay, I have added as a block. What will happen? I will, okay, something is affecting, right? We can see when I declare this label as a block, it is pushing this input box to the next line or next line. Why? Because this first name is taking 100% width, this element is taking 100% width, because we have declared this as a block level element. If I say this as inline, okay, by default it is on inline, see, it will not take 100% width. Similarly, if I copy this, okay, let me remove this, that's fine. And if I give the style to the input, any element can be styled. Okay, we can add style to the any element, and by default it is inline. I will say block. Okay, it is taking again 100% width. It says, hey, I will not adjust with you, I need my own space, and I want, from entire space horizontally, whatever the height would be there, with respect to that, the space would be taken. So block elements always starts on new line. Okay, so try to understand the difference between what is mean by inline, what is mean by block level element. Block level elements 100, always take 100% width. Okay, it is fine. It always start on new line, but with respect to inline element, it is nothing has happened. When only required width will be taken, and it will not start on new line. So that is the difference. That is different. And by using whatever the property we are giving here, by using style attribute, that is only called as a CSS. That is only called as a CSS. Okay. So what I will do, I will remove or open this, and I will change instead of changing everything, I will change width of form. I will change, I will say width, I will say 30%. Okay, 30%, and it looks like this. Okay, I will reduce few more width so that it should come one below. Okay, now my form is looking like this. Even though we have taken width as a 25%, if we add another form, it will not come to the side of this first form, it will come down. It will start, because form is block level element. And what I have to do, if I display this as a block, or no, I have to use the display property display inline. Okay, it says, okay, it is changing the property for every element, and this will change the form in this way. So I wanted to keep this as a block. So I just wanted to tell you the difference between block and inline. Inline never takes 100% width. Inline never start on new line, but exactly opposite. Block level element always start on new line and it always take 100% width by default. These are the browser default properties. Okay, and we can change the display property of any element by using display property and by using style attribute. By using style attribute. Okay. But now what I wanted to do, I wanted to design this in such a way that I should have these two forms in such a way that they should not be on new line. It should come side of another. Means what I want. Okay, what I want this form to be here. Okay, I want to bring this form to be here. What I can do, I don't have idea. And we have seen that if we change this form element to inline, entire structure will get disturbed. Means I don't want to change the form. Okay, then what I need to do, I need to bring one more container to this form. That container will control the width of this form. Okay, what I will do, I will, instead of giving style here, I will remove everything. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, and I have two forms. I will use one container called division. Division is something I will divide this using div tag. Div tag is called a division tag, and inside it's container for any kind of element to the HTML. Any kind of HTML element. And what it will affect. Okay, what it will affect. So it says, okay, not a dialog, it says div, and okay, so what I have used these two divs. Okay, it is fine. Now, see, we have already tried by giving property to the form, it is not working. Okay, form property should remain as it is, and I should say style, but instead of this, I will say style in the div. I will say, hey, look, form is taking 100% width. Form is taking 100% width since there is no parent element. So now I have added a parent to this using a division element, and I will say here as a style. Okay, style as a, what we can say, the width should be 25%. Now what will happen? Oh, form is properly aligned automatically. We have not given any property to the form. Okay, now what is happening here? So form is taking 100% width with respect to his parent element. Okay, now it is fine. I am getting something in my mind. So what I will do, I will say, okay. Oh, something is weird. Okay. Now both the forms are properly aligned without giving any property to the form. We have controlled the form width using this division. Division is a div which is used to contain other elements. It is just a container. It will not have any specialized property, but it is a block level element. Again, it is a block level element. That's why it is showing. But we earlier tried to make this form as a inline. What was happened? So entire elements, its child elements are getting affected, and the form structure will be disturbed. So I don't want this. That's why what I did, I divided these two forms using div. And now what, okay, I will add border so that we can see where is the div. I will say border 2px solid, and okay, gold. Oh. Okay, so this is the size of div. This is the size of div, and form size is controlled automatically by the div. Form is saying that okay, div is my parent and it has this that much width. I will take that only, and my elements are placed in such a way that okay. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to bring this form here. I wanted to bring this form here. So for this purpose, it will not come automatically. Okay, we as a developer, we have to give the property. We have to say, okay, it is fine. Hey, you are a block level element, but now behave like inline. Now you have to behave like inline. May this will work. Okay, again, it is affecting a structure. I don't want that. Okay, now it is behaving, but it is not behaving. Okay, its child elements are getting affected. Okay, let's remove this. We will use something else. Okay, and it is. So what I will do, I will say to this div, hey div, you look float, you have to stay at left. You have to stay at left. Okay, it will not do anything. It says okay, I will say at left. It is at left. And similarly, I will say to this div, okay, hey you, now you have to go to the right side. Width is 25%. Width is 25%. Okay, it is fine. And I will say okay, now these two divs are okay. Here it says okay, now it is fine. Whenever we declare a float property internally, it will change the element to the inline internally. Okay, and this will not affect the child elements. If we use the display property, child elements are getting affected. That we do not, I mean, these are not getting affected. Actually, these are already inline. And whenever we declare this as an inline, there is no use of this width property. Okay, means width cannot be given to the inline element. Width, height, remember this, width, height, what is difference between block and all? We will say, if I say block, okay, with respect to block, width, height will work, but with respect to inline element, this width property, width and height, HEIGST, okay, height will not work. That is the only difference between these two, the main difference. Okay, and So far what we have did, we were using width here, but whenever the moment we declare this, there is no use of this width 25%, and it is automatically taking 100% width, and that's why these elements are getting disturbed, I mean spreaded out as what as per the browser default structure. Okay, so now I would like to say, we have seen display property, display inline, display block. Okay, block element always take 100% width, inline element will take a width as much as they want. Height width will not work on inline element, but height and width properties will work on block element. This is the very important. Okay, if you do not understand this, you can't design web page. Okay, now let's talk about HTML structure. We have discussed, right? HTML structure we have discussed. We have something called head. Okay, head element is there, but as of now we have not used head. Okay, then when to use the head? When to use the head? So now we have started little bit using CSS, right? So the way we are giving CSS using style attribute is called inline CSS. Means if I talk about CSS, how to add CSS in the HTML, there are three ways. First is inline, that we have seen using a style attribute. Okay, then what is another way? Okay, second way, that is we call it as internal CSS. Internal. Okay, using style element. Okay, style attribute and style element is the difference between internal and inline. The next is called external CSS. Okay, and using what we can say, external .css file. Okay, so these are the three ways to add CSS to the HTML. Okay, out of that, first one is that using style attribute we have seen. Now this is the way or this is what we call as inline CSS. Okay, inline is fine. Now I have given same property, right? I have given same property to the two different divs using inline. Okay, and I am taking a lots of efforts. I don't want to do this. Okay, I don't want to give the same property again and again to the different divs. Okay, in that case, inside a head element, we can add style element. Okay, style can be added inside a head, and this is what we say as internal. Okay, now how to add a style? Okay, I have a element called a div, so I will use the name of element div. Okay, then I will say width should be 25%. Okay, it is fine, the width is defined. Now it is a block level element. Okay, I will say border. Common properties I am giving, I will say 2px solid, and now brown. Okay, then I will say float. Now what we have used so far, we have used the float left and right. So by using that, what is happening? So one is aligned to the left side, one div is aligned to the right side. Extreme left and extreme right is used, but I don't want to do this. I wanted to use this one. I mean, along with another, like we can say and if I use the left, it will align again left to the immediate left. So this is first left, and whatever the space it acquired after that, immediately by using left, right, float left, it says okay, hey, I will stick to the left, but this is what the space already acquired, so it will not acquire that space. It will says okay, you have taken some space, that is fine. After you, I will take my own space, but it should be on left side, not to the right side. Similarly, this property we can, okay, we don't want to give it to the float left. I will say float left. Okay, and I have added. Now what I will do, I will remove these internal properties. Internal CSS. Sorry, not internal. Inline CSS. I am removing inline CSS. Inline CSS is removed. Will this affect any layout? Obviously, it should affect, and I changed. Okay, nothing is changed, only color is changed. Means it is taking brown color, means it is accepting this property. So this is the way, this is the another way that we call as internal CSS. This is the another way we call it as a internal CSS. Okay. Now, what is the next then? What is the external CSS? Oh my god. This is something weird, right? How many ways are there to add a CSS? But and we will see advantage. Okay, advantage. So one advantage we have seen, if we have to use the inline CSS, we need to give it to the each element. Okay, instead of that, what I will do, I will use the one element as a div, because we have common element, and for all div these properties will be added. Okay, if I add one more div and one more form, no problem. I do not need to declare anything. It will just automatically adjust it to this structure. And that is the beauty of CSS. Okay, that is fine. Now I wanted to give external CSS. External CSS means I want to create a new file. Okay, I will say new file, and I will say intro. Okay, file name called intro is being created. But what is the extension? As I said, .css file will be used. Then to define external CSS, as we use the .html extension for HTML file, similarly we have to use .css extension for CSS file. Okay, that is fine. I will say okay, it is added. File is created now. Now what I will do, I will just copy this properties here. Okay, it is fine. And I will just change the color of border to green, just to understand okay it is working or not. And what I will do, I will say hey, I am refreshing, but it is not taking these properties. Okay, what I will do, I will remove these properties. I will comment out these properties. Maybe because of this, priority should be given to this internal. I will change. Okay, it is not taking any property. Why? See, we have declared external CSS, but we have not linked that. So how to link? Okay, inside a head element, again we have to use the element called link. Okay, link. We are linking now. But how to link? We have used. Now we have to provide additional information to this link element. And how to provide additional information? Additional information can be provided by using href attribute. Okay, this is again attribute. Attributes is very important. Okay, and I will say just intro.css, since it is in the same folder. Okay, properties are remain same, but now properties are coming from this file. And it should show me green color, right? Green border color as I selected here. Okay, and as I refresh, it is not taking. Oh my god. Why? I have given reference. Reference is given, but it is not taking. Okay. something is missing. Okay, this kind of issues happens. This kind of issues happens when a newly start person starting using HTML and CSS. Okay, so intentionally I am doing this kind of mistakes so that people should understand what they are missing, what they will miss when this kind of issues happen. So I have to define, okay, I have to define, or I have to tell to the browser, hey, look, this is what the relation between intro.css and this HTML file. What is the relation? So this is a style sheet. This is a style sheet. The moment I declare style sheet, it will say, okay, I will read the properties from this file now, because this is a style sheet. And until you declare these two properties, you will not, and you won't be able to use the external CSS. And this is how CSS file is linked. Okay, now what I will do, I will just remove this comment out. Now what will happen? It will turn, or it will use the proper internal properties. And if I use the inline property, okay, let me say style. Okay, style is something, and I would say inside the style, that is fine. And color, I will choose some other color. It should be like this. Okay, now what will happen? Okay, it is taking. So you can see, first priority should be given to the style attribute, then style element, and then that external CSS. So this is how priority, this is how properties are taken. If there is no internal CSS, sorry, no inline CSS, it will check for the properties from internal CSS. If there is no internal CSS, it will go and search for, what is this we call external CSS. Yes, external CSS. So this is how CSS is linked with HTML page. HTML page. Okay. So one thing we understand, we can use head element. Inside head element, we can give the internal CSS. Okay, that is using style attribute. That is fine. We can add external CSS using link attribute. That is also fine. But if you go here and search, now in the top there is something called intro.html. Okay, that it is by default it is picking a HTML file name. I don't want that. Okay, I wanted to give my own title there, so I will use the title element in this head, and I will say HTML, oh, not THML, HTML demo. Okay, just I will say, and I will refresh this page, and it says, okay, HTML demo, means we can control this title also, title or which is reflecting in a browser window. That is fine. And there is something called, okay, there is a small icon we can see, local or shared. Okay, something, a small icon, but what is that? Okay, this is called favicon. This is called a favicon, and we can give a favicon also. But how to give favicon? I wanted to add a small logo there. I wanted to add a small logo there. I don't know how to add. Okay, what I will go somewhere and inside the programming language, not here. I will go here and I will pick this HTML5 logo. I will say back, go back, and I will come here. I have put an image here. Okay, that is fine. But I wanted to give the favicon. Favicon can be added by using, oh, again link. Link element is used with, but with different attributes. Okay, what are all attributes? First attribute should be href. Okay, it is fine, href. And if I say, okay, what kind of this html, or what image name, what was the name, image name there in our folder, html underscore logo. I will give the reference, I mean href as a html underscore logo dot png. Okay, this is the name of image. It is fine, I have given image here. Okay, but nothing is showing here. Again we have to define, we are missing something. What is the type of this href? It is an image. Yes, we will declare this as an image. And oh my god, will this pick or not? Not sure. Still it is not picking. Okay, that is fine. Means again we are missing something. We have to tell that what is the relation between this link and this html. Whenever we use link element, we have to define this rel. Rel means relation between this. So this is just a icon. Okay, that is fine. And now I will render. Oh, here you can see that html 5 logo is picked as an favicon. This is what called favicon. This is what called favicon in html. And this is the structure. This is the fixed structure. Okay, we have to write the html in this such way. We have to add the css in 3 ways: inline, internal, and external. Then I would like to conclude this html basic video here. I hope you have learned html and this video makes sense to grow your html skills. So please subscribe webchamp and do not forget to like the video. Thank you so much for watching.